This year was the 77th running of the Fleche Wallonne race, which first was organised back in 1936. And as an innovation, it started in the town of Binche before it made its way to finish at the summit of the Mur de Huy. As always, it was dominated in the early part by a three-man breakaway that got themselves an advantage of 9.5 minutes at one stage before being pulled back into the fold at around about 50 kilometres to go. After that, two new leaders managed to get away from the main field. Laurens Tendam was joined by a young Frenchman, 22-year-old Romain Bardet. But the main field was very much controlled by the teammates of Philippe Gilbert, the world champion, and a rider who hails from just 25 kilometres away from the finishing town of Huy. When they came up to the Mur de Huy for the penultimate time, the main field were right on their coattails. 30 kilometres to go at the summit of this climb, with two more climbs out on the course, the Côte d'Amay and the Côte de Villers. But as it got towards the summit of the climb, Romain Bardet started to fade a fraction, and he was overtaken by a young rider from Germany, Simon Geske, whose father was formerly a world champion on the track for East Germany. Tendam dug deep into his courage to make sure that he could stay in contact with the flying German over the top of the climb, and the two leaders started to build up an advantage of around about 30 seconds. But the main field was admirably always controlled by Team BMC, trying to set up the first big victory in the World Championships jersey for the champion Philippe Gilbert. And as they charged into Huy for the final time, there was a group of about 45 riders together. Philippe Gilbert was in a good position, riding in second or third point, but all of a sudden, a young rider that not many people knew much about, Carlos Betancourt, jumped out of the main pack. A couple of years ago, he was second in the World Under-23 Championships, and he'd already won himself a stage in the Tour of Belgium. It was all then the responsibility of Philippe Gilbert to try and pull this bike race back together, but one man they didn't really talk about at the start of the day was Daniel Moreno, the teammate of the defending champion Joaquim Rodriguez. He caught and passed Betancourt on the run up towards the finishing line, and he still had the power to come across the line in first place to get himself his first ever big victory in a one-day race. Followed to the line by Sergio Hanayo, a Colombian rider from Team Sky, and just hanging on was Betancourt in third place. So there is the podium. Carlos Betancourt in third place, Sergio Hanayo in second place, and the winner this year from Spain, Daniel Moreno.